I am the mongoose. But you can just call me Goose. Down here in the cellar, the Dungeon Doom here in Transylvania, Pennsylvania. Red lights going on here in the basement. Are we in Amsterdam? Are we in Pennsylvania? Where are we? I don't know. Whose hand is that? To my right, the Sicilian Slayer, the South Philly Poontang Punisher, Mr. Sal Baps.
We should add Sugar House VIP. My intro, by the way.
We were just talking about how
I was just talking. I was bragging about it.
So
since you showed me how awesome you're doing and your stock and trades and shit.
So apparently, and Sal Baps maintains this. I don't know. We'll say it's a VIP status.
No, it literally is though. It's like literally I can walk in there and get like anything.
He's trying.
I have a manager. I'm an account manager, a VIP account manager.
He's trying to sell me that literally a limo will come to Bumblefuck, Pennsylvania here and pick him up if he wants them to.
It is part of the contract.
You signed a contract with Sugar
No, I
House.
didn't sign it. It's part of your perks like with the program. So like you only can do it once though. Like you can't abuse it. Like they'll do it once.
I have one small parlay with Sugar House right now. It would pay out $8,000. So if I were to win $8,000, could we call up the limo? Is that cool?
We could call them today. It's just you can only do it once.
Okay. Well,
I've never done it though.
If I were to hit 8,000, would that be cool enough for you to call the limo?
Yeah. Well, you got to remember, dude. This is. Do you even want to go there? I mean, it's a pretty grimy place. It's not really fun to hang out at.
I just want to do the limo ride.
Okay. Well, I mean, let's hit these bets then.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's content. I want the content. I want to see us riding in a limo in tuxedos.
Oh, that's the new profile pic.
That is. So let's make that happen. You're right, though. Let's hit some bets. Conference championship weekend, we did pretty good. We absolutely nailed our Fresno State Bulldogs, Jake Haener.
Dude, they're hot, man. I mean, we told you guys what was going to happen, dude. We actually destroyed Bowl Weekend, by the way. We destroyed it. Not Bowl Weekend, Championship fucking Saturday. We killed that shit.
I got fucked on TCU. I still say.
Well, yeah, that's right. I had Kansas State.
That was a touchdown in overtime when he reached over the line. TCU got.
Dude, everyone who bet that game should have just got it voided. Like, it should have just been voided.
Yeah.
Because, like, TCU did score. They did. Like, they scored, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's absolutely in, dude.
Who else did we have there during conference championship
We had the Michigan-Purdue
weekend?
over.
Yes, had the Michigan-Purdue over. Boss cock lock.
I had Clemson -7.5. They rolled.
They rolled against a North Carolina team that, talk about Mac Brown, FFCC. Did you see he literally admitted, we didn't prepare for Cade Klubnik because we didn't think Dabo would play him.
Dude, he's 90 years old. He has no idea what he's doing. They got killed.
Like, I can't tell if Dabo is such a boss move that he's so stubborn. Coaches literally didn't think he would put in the better quarterback, or if Mac Brown's just retarded, or both. I don't know.
I think Mac Brown's retarded, dude.
Yeah.
That's why I put him in the club week 1.
Yeah. Georgia rolled.
We had that.
I had the team over total points for Georgia, which hit in the second quarter.
Hit
in the second quarter.
And I had Georgia with the stock line, and they covered.
Yeah.
So we slayed it, dude. We absolutely slayed the whole entire program.
Compared to some of the other national pundits and how they did.
Dude, there's guys that went 0-6.
Yeah, 0-6.
Like people with millions of followers.
Yeah.
Not naming names, but Clay Travis.
Yeah. So we did pretty damn good. Moving on, though, to bowl season.
Yeah, that's yesterday's news. We're on to bigger and better things here.
Bowl-A-Pa-Looza, and you bet your sweet ass Goose-A-Pa-Looza is all over the next 3 weeks. Having said that, Sal Vaps, I was feeling really good about some of these games. For example, Tennessee versus Clemson. I was loving Tennessee money line at like plus 225. I still maintain all these first-round draft picks for that Clemson D are going to opt out. Murphy, the edge rusher, already has. I expect Bressie and a couple of others to do the same. And I do expect for Tennessee to actually prepare for the right quarterback. Having said that, Tillman there, stud wide receiver, is out. Jalen Hyatt just announced today that he is going into the draft. That is a major blow to Tennessee. Do I still think Tennessee can put up points? Do I like the Tennessee team over? Yes. I am a little bit more skeptical of that game. Another game I was all over. South Carolina versus Notre Dame. South Carolina, one of the hottest teams to close out the regular season. Notre Dame starting quarterback entered the transfer portal, and that backup is Garbage. Michael Mayer, stud tight end for Notre Dame, entered the NFL draft. I was loving South Carolina.
Yeah, he's good, too. I mean, he's a good player.
Very good. Until Jaheim Bell, the all-around H-back there for South Carolina. Dude's 6'3", and he was a receiver and tailback, plowing guys over. He went in the portal to probably get NIL money. He's now with Florida State. How fucking good is Florida State going to be next year, by the way?
We're going to be batting them. We'll be batting them.
And it looks like now Marshawn Lloyd, the stud running back, is also in the transfer portal. But let me propose this to you, because this has happened a couple times already. These kids are going into the transfer portal for this sole purpose to get NIL money and then just return to the team. You just saw it with Western Kentucky and their quarterback.
Yeah, dude. I mean, here's the thing with anything involving millions of dollars. There's always a scam and a loophole to it.
Yeah.
So, like we talked about, I mean, you can literally, like, say you're bouncing, and then you're going to get paid more money to stay in college or stay there than you would to go to the NFL or go somewhere else.
Right,
So it's like, it's
yeah.
a loophole now. It makes the sport cooler because good players will stick around longer.
Yeah.
But it's kind of fucked. Like, it's definitely fucked. It's not fucked as in terms of, like, anything bad. It's just, like, it's just fucked as in cuckoo fucked. Like, this is just the caveman stages of this. Wait for a couple years.
There's a solution, and it's simple, and they should have done it 3 years ago already, and they would have nipped all this shit in the bud. But they were greedy. We just need to have basically shared revenue from all these TV contracts. X amount, that is Big Ten, doles out money to the players. And had they done that 3-4 years ago, they could have got away with fucking like 5-10%.
Yeah, and like
that ain't happening now.
And we're not communists who think that like people should just get this and that. We're just giving what the logical solution was. It should have been done the way you said it.
Yeah, and now
here we are.
Now that pool, it's gonna be
anyone who's got money can just toss it and solve anything they want. Oh, this kid's going to leave. I like him. Well, now you're not going anywhere.
Yeah, and I think the Big Ten will be the first conference to institute this. And I think
no doubt about it.
I think the players will get around 25-30%. But then who's to say the SEC doesn't say, well, come to us, we'll give you 32% to play in the best conference in America.
They will.
And eventually it's probably going to be a 50-50 split. And in which case most of these programs won't be able to afford that. And we're going to have the NFL, and we're going to have 32 college programs.
Yeah. Basically, there's going to be 3 conferences.
Yeah. This is going to be a long episode, guys. We have fucking so many games to go over here. We do want to touch briefly, though, on the legend, the pirate that was our beloved Mike Leach. Sal Baps, just first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Leach.
Dude, he changed football, man. I mean, he really did. Like, with the shit that we see today wouldn't exist if it wasn't for him. And anyone who doesn't believe that doesn't really know the sport that well then.
By the way, if you have $550 and you, I don't know, have a little bit of free time on your hand, like let's say this summer, did you know that there is an actual air raid certification school that you can take online?
No, but it's once again, it's from him. It's back to him.
It's from Hal Mummy, who with Leach, were the godfathers of the air raid. And it's literally like an 80-hour course with tests that you have to pass 93% or above. But like it is like if you want to learn the actual air raid offense, you can actually take this school online. I'm not gonna lie, I fucking want to do this. It looks cool as shit.
And Mike Leach puts to bed all these ex-players who use the straw man argument. Oh, well, if you didn't play the sport, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Mike Leach was a lawyer. A certified lawyer. He would break into practices illegally at BYU because he loved football so much.
Yep.
And he would draw on a notepad the plays that they should run. And just one of these coaches he came up to and just was like, hey, you know what? These aren't bad. Why don't you hop on the staff as like something? And he worked his way up.
Is that how he got his start? Was that BYU?
Yeah, dude, look at his history.
I didn't know that.
He literally was an actual student, and he was watching their practices constantly, alone in the stands. And the coaches just let him do it. And he started drawing down and correcting their offense, and they were like, "Yo, this shit's kind of fucking gangster, bro. You're kind of smart." And he got, involved. Next thing you know, he's coaching for, offense for some major programs. He's coaching for Stoops. He's coaching, I think he was at Kentucky for a little bit.
Yeah. But he created the air raid offense with Hal Mummy at a community college in Iowa Wesleyan.
Yeah, and dude,
because they had inferior players. They had to come up with a scheme to beat their opponents.
You got to understand Texas, which I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to anyone who's listening, the 7 people. But, when he was at Texas Tech and they beat Texas Tech was essentially, a community college in that state in that point in time.
Yeah.
Texas was an absolute powerhouse when Mac Brown wasn't 100 years old. They weren't getting anywhere near the players these other Texas schools were.
Right.
Didn't we have LaDainian Tomlinson at this point down in around that time period at TCU?
Yeah.
Even TCU's getting NFL players.
Right.
This guy pretty much went to war with this air raid offense with Graham Harrell and Michael Crabtree.
Yeah.
And became the #1 ranked team in the country.
Yeah, no, he won.
I can't talk more. I wish I could talk about this guy for an hour. I know we got to get into these games, but I don't really get sad when celebrities or famous people I know die.
Yeah.
But I was a little salty yesterday when I saw this.
Yeah, he was a legend in the game. He was such a character. He was everywhere he went. He took shit programs and he made them relevant and even, contending for conference championships. And just the amount of people who've come out in the past couple of days about...
It tells you everything.
About how kind he was to reporters or, how many careers that he started. It seems like the guy truly was a stand-up guy. And by the way, we know he was based as fuck. So there's that as well.
Yeah, and dude, that's the thing about him, too, is Mike Leach in a world full of corporate coaches, he was always authentic and true to himself, Yep,
100%. So, God bless you, the Pirate. We
miss you, dude. You were the man.
We miss you. You were the man. And, literally, you look at his disciples of the game, a lot of the people came from his tree, like Sonny Dykes, Lincoln Riley. They are literally running college football. So the legend of Mike Leach, it isn't going to die anytime soon. The air raid only continues to proliferate in the game of football. So
look at Patrick Mahomes. What the fuck offense do people think that was?
He literally was ahead of his time. God bless you, Mike Leach.
They think that shit's Andy Reid, bro. He was doing that at TT.
All right, moving on. Here we go. Holy shit. Friday, December 16th on ESPN at 11:30 a.m.
Boy.
From the Robinson National Stadium in Nassau, Bahamas.
Ooh.
What a great place to have a bowl, by the way.
Is this the first time they're doing that?
No. This is the Bahamas Bowl has been going on.
Yeah, it's always the first bowl. It's on at 11 a.m. or something stupid.
It's the Hometown Lenders Bahamas Bowl.
Fucking bowl game at 11:30 a.m.
By the way, who's lending out money in this economy? That's a fucking racket if I ever heard of one. We have Miami, Ohio versus UAB. I have no play on this game. I will watch this game because I'm a loser, but do you have a play?
I am now. When we say we have plays on this, we're not saying that tail us. We're just telling you what we're on. I actually took the under in this game. I think it's a stupid game. It's a low total. It's 44.5. It's 11:30 in the morning. How can the fuck can you actually want to play this football game? How?
I don't know. I mean, are they partying in the Bahamas? Are they?
Yeah, well, I hope they are.
Are they smart? Are they getting high?
I would hope they're doing a lot of shit down there. Because if you're going to get rewarded with this shitty bowl game, at least it's in the Bahamas.
Yeah. Is there a lot of weed in the Bahamas? I know, like there is, around various parts of.
I'm sure there's islanders, man, with Chiba.
Yeah,
they got to be partying.
Yeah,
Like, come on.
I'm sure they are. All right. Well, fuck that game.
Yeah, it's stupid.
All right, moving on. The Duluth Trading Cure Bowl. The hell is a trading cure?
Who knows? It doesn't matter.
Are we trading cures for like cancer? Like, hey, I'll give you the cure for
No, but they definitely have the cure.
Oh yeah, 100%.
This big farm's never gonna let that
for sure
happen. We got to treat symptoms for loot.
Yo, this game's actually gonna be sauce. UTSA versus Troy.
Dude, over's 55.5.
So I tease this over down to 52. I don't think there's any chance in hell it doesn't go over. Troy does have a very good defense. Having said that, their offense the last couple of weeks of the season absolutely exploded. And Frank Harris who's coming back for another year, NIL money. That UTSA offense, Jeff Traylor, head coach, absolutely fucking buzzing, full speed. I love the over here. I mean, you could even bet the 55, but I'm just saying if you want to tease it down to like 52, I just think there's no way in hell it doesn't hit.
No, we're in agreement, dude. This over is exactly what I had in mind here for this. I mean, this game's that day for Friday. I just see it as one game goes under, one goes over.
Yeah.
I just think one game is going to be stupid in the morning, and the next game's just going to be sauce.
Yeah, it's in Orlando, Friday, 3 o'clock. Unless there's torrential downpour, there's no way they don't hit the over. Moving on here, dude. Speaking of not sauce, this game is pure dog shit.
Dog shit, and you don't even need to go more into it because you already revealed it. I have the under in this game.
The Wasabi. Ding-a-ding-a-ding-ding. What a weird name. The Wasabi Fenway Bowl. Can you explain that?
It's on a baseball field.
Literally on a baseball field. We have Cincinnati versus Louisville Saturday, December 16th at 11 a.m. in Fenway Park in Boston. Bro, I don't even know where. I honestly, I can't even keep up with all the guys who've opted out of this game.
That's why we're taking the under.
What is the under is officially at? Let's see.
It's low.
It's down to 40.
It's fucking low. I got it at 41.
That
but
is like
it's
an
already
Iowa,
gone down.
That's like an Iowa
Wisconsin
freaking
game.
Wisconsin game. Man, I'm gonna watch this game because I think it's gonna be such a train wreck. And I do think having a bowl in Fenway while retarded is also kind of cool.
It's not only in Fenway, it's at 11 a.m. Eastern time.
Yeah. Like I said, you got
It's just got to be on.
Trey Tucker, the leading receiver for Cincinnati. He's out.
The coach is gone.
The center, half the coaching staff. Kerry Coombs, who was the DC horrible at Ohio State.
Both coaches are gone.
He's the head coach there now. That is the only concern I have for the under. It's that Kerry Coombs is such a bad defensive coordinator that like just his dumbass itself may hit the over. Tight ends out for Cincinnati. On the side of Louisville, Malik Cunningham, star quarterback, he's out. Deion Branch is going to be the team's interim coach for this game.
I have a throwback Deion Branch Seattle Seahawks jersey in my closet, by the way.
Top cornerback, K-Trell Clark entered the NFL draft. Running back, Tyon Evans. Receiver, Tyler Hudson, who had over 1,000 yards receiving, are not expected to play in the bowl. I mean, there's like 5 other dudes here too. Like there's basically we're looking at like the practice squad for both these teams. Like the lines haven't moved because every time one guy on one side announces he's out, a guy in the other team announces he's out. So I think the line is still at it's Louisville is -1.5. That's basically that hasn't moved in like a week.
Yeah.
I'm not touching that game, but I will watch. Next one up here. Oh, I am daddy's all over this one. SRS distribution. The fuck is that?
I remember that when I was saying what the fuck last year when I saw what it was called.
SRS. Sexy, retarded Spaniards. Hookers.
Edit that out.
Hookers from Tijuana, basically. Hookers from Tijuana distribution in the Las Vegas Bowl. That makes sense. in the Las Vegas Bowl, Florida versus the Oregon State Beavers, Saturday, December 16th on ESPN at 2:30 p.m. from the Death Star Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. Yo, I drove by that stadium in Vegas.
Yeah.
Fucking money. It literally looks like the black version of the Death Star right on the tail end of the strip. Like, those stadiums in Las Vegas just gave Vegas another, 15 years of life.
Yeah, I mean, dude, what helped them, too, was the fucking hockey team was in the cup, right away.
Yeah.
So, people, selling them on pro sports, one of those teams had a win. Raiders obviously aren't, but they are apparently a hockey town now.
So, okay, quick here for Florida. Florida is a MASH unit, decimated by the transfer portal. Anthony Richardson in the draft. As this line opened up at Oregon State minus 7.5. I fucking hammered it. It is now up to 10.
Why don't we do this? We'll do this. When we get to the game, after we give the brief, we'll do play or no play. You ask me, you say play, and then I'll give you if I'm playing it or not. So
okay.
Are you playing this game?
I already said I smashed it at 7.5. I would tease it down to 9.5 just because Florida does still have those 2 stud freshman running backs. So I do think they could potentially backdoor cover this to 10 points.
So play.
Play it, but down to 9.5 now.
Now I am playing the under.
Okay.
53 I have.
Okay.
I think that this is an under game. I'm trying to take a shot on Florida being incompetent. And by the way, did you ever follow up on what kind of underage porn that Kitna was watching?
No,
because I did.
You probably shouldn't even say those words for the censors, so we'll just call it the kitty PP or whatever.
What's a real investigation? I mean, it's real.
I know it is, but I'm just saying. Yes, tell me, Sal Baps, what did you investigate and find out?
It was younger than what we said.
It wasn't 17-year-old girls.
It was younger than that.
Whoa.
It's not good.
John Kitna.
He's in very deep trouble.
What's John Kitna thinking right now?
The report stated that he had multiple pictures on his phone of extremely young women.
Wow. Yeah, so Florida's going to be starting third string Ohio State transfer quarterback Jack Miller. Listen, if this guy wasn't playing over Kitna, who wasn't very good himself, I think the under is a decent play. Oregon State does have a very strong
stab. It's a stab.
I don't know if Florida doesn't show up for this bowl, which I think they may not. I'm just concerned that.
That's why I like the under.
I'm concerned Oregon State wins 35-10, and then your under is gone. But Florida,
because it's 53.
Oh, it's 53.
Yeah, you'd win.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah,
under's not a bad play here. Florida's also without first team All SEC offensive lineman Osiris Torrance, their leading tackler Ventrell Miller. I mean, there's Justin Shorter's out. I mean, dude, this fucking Florida team is just out a million dudes, as opposed to Oregon State. Jonathan Smith just got a huge extension. They are without Rajon Wright, one of their top corners. And they also are out running back Damian Martinez, but that's about it. And I do expect Oregon State to travel well to Vegas. And this is also, I believe, what time is this kickoff?
So
2:30.
This game is at 2:30 on 2:30. Saturday on the 17th.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Billy Napier, rightfully so, his head is in the transfer portal, upgrading this roster. I think Oregon State rolls. I still think, like I said, you should tease us down at 9.5, but I love Oregon State in this game.
Or you can roll with me on the under. I think it's a good play.
Yes, that's a good one too. Next one up, the communist and propaganda head chief, Jimmy Kimmel, LA Bowl, presented by Stifel. The hell is Stifel? How did Jimmy Well, actually, if you shill propaganda, you apparently get your own college football bowl game.
Dude, how bad is he? He's like one of the worst out there.
Yeah, and he used to be the coolest with the Man Show. Think about that.
I mean, that just proves that it's fake. Like, he's just an actual paid-off mouthpiece.
Yeah, he is a literal weapon of propaganda.
Have you actually watched late-night comedy, like, at all?
Yes, I've tried.
It is very bad.
It is state propaganda. It's horrible.
It's not comedy. It's a political show.
This is probably my heaviest play on all my 1,000 parlays going. Saturday, December 16th, like I said, the LA Bowl.
Fresno State.
ABC at 3:30, Fresno State versus Washington State. Washington State, defensive coordinator Brian Ward, he's at Arizona State. You also have them down 4 key contributors, receivers, Donovan Ollie, Dejon Stribling, linebackers, Travion Brown, and Francisco Mayoaga. Those guys were all fucking dudes on their team. Dayon Henley was first team All Pac-12. He's not playing. The offensive coordinator just became the new head coach at North Texas.
Yep.
And you're going against a Fresno State team that has only one opt-out. It's one of their defensive backs, and that's it. And they were the hottest team in the group of 5 at the end of the year.
Yeah, so if we were going to do a power ranking of like 1 to the last of every team in the bowls, Wazoo would be one of the bottom 3 teams in the entire thing. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
I mean, they've beaten absolutely nobody. I know they qualified for a bowl, but
they're not a bad team. It's just this is a bad matchup with all their best players out.
I think Fresno got disrespect. Like this is disrespect to Fresno to play this team.
Yeah, and you put that Fresno State team with all their guys indoors on the turf there in LA.
This is stupid. I'm cranking Fresno.
Listen, the line is 3.5. I think you should even tease this up. I think you should take Fresno State minus 6.5.
You can do alternate spreads, and like if you would lay that, it'd be like plus like 450 or something.
No, it's gonna be more like plus 160.
Not a teaser, an actual alternate line.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You really think it's 160?
I know it is because I literally just did it.
All right.
Because the line's only minus 3.5, so you're only adding a field goal onto it.
Either way, they're gonna roll.
I think this is one you need to slam. Moving on, the Lending Tree Bowl, Rice versus Southern Miss, Saturday, December 16th. ESPN at 5:45 from the Hancock Whitney Stadium in Mobile, Alabama.
Is this a play?
No play for me. Actually, no. I take that back. I do have a play. Wide receiver Luke McCaffrey has basically been the Rice offense, and I don't think he's going to play in this bowl. And Southern Miss is right now minus 6.5. I actually like Southern Miss minus 6.5 here.
No play for me. This is my first no play. I hate this. I want no parts of this at all. Bye, Lending Tree Bowl. Goodbye.
That is a very light play for me, but yeah, I do have a little play on the Southern Miss minus 6.5. Moving on to the New Mexico Bowl, my friends down in Albuquerque, Saturday, December 16th, ABC at 7:30 p.m. from that University Stadium there in Albuquerque. SMU versus BYU. Bro, I don't know if there's Tennessee and the South Carolina games. This game is right up there. I was all in on BYU early. The Mormons always play hard. They're going to show up to...
They always try.
They're going to show up to Albuquerque. Having said that, quarterback Jalen Hall, who is like their offense...
He's their whole offense.
He's their whole offense. Reports coming out of early this week was that he wasn't going to play. The line went up all the way to SMU minus 5.5. Having said that, the line has now dropped back down to BYU plus 3.5. And... there's still no word on Jalen Hall, but who says he wants to play? So,
is it a play or no play?
Dude, I already had so many plays on BYU, and I can't cash out of those tickets. So I'm
with you. It's a play for me. I actually got BYU at the 5.5, so I'm taking that. I'm with it. It's already in.
As far as it goes right now, if you haven't made a play yet, I would caution you to just watch this game. pregame, because if Jalen Hall plays, this is going to be a pick'em. So SMU is down their leading standout receiver, Rashi Rice. Yo, this guy, I bet SMU a lot this year. This dude had 96 catches for 1,355 yards and 10 touchdowns. He ain't playing. SMU, all they do is throw the ball. That's a major loss for SMU.
Well, dude, you got to. The thing is, too, like this total is the highest we've seen so far in bowl games. It's 64.
Yeah, I mean, if Jalen Hall doesn't play, you smash the under.
Because BYU will not score. But like me and you, we're kind of stuck.
Yeah.
I got great value, and you put it in early as well.
Yeah, I got great value in a lot of my games. This is the one game that I am very nervous about.
We're kind of exposed. We have to just roll with BYU here.
Yeah, for sure. Moving on, the Frisco Bowl. North Texas has to drive about 20 minutes from Denton. North Texas is playing Boise State at the Toyota Stadium in Frisco, Texas, Saturday, December 16th, ESPN at 9:15 p.m.
Play or no play?
Okay, this is a very light play, but if you're doing a parlay, which, by the way, we may have a Poontang parlay.
Oh, yeah.
I do think there is a sprinkle opportunity here with Boise State money line covering the full, what is it now?
10.
Yeah, covering the full 10 with a Boise State offense that is very slow, trotting, and somewhat inept. I would not touch the spread at all. Having said that, I don't think there's a chance in hell North Texas can beat Boise State.
Should I reveal my play?
You should.
It is Boise State laying the number.
Really? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Well, didn't North Texas just lose their offensive coordinator?
Well, Seth Luttrell was fired. They lost their defensive coordinator.
They lost their defensive coordinator.
But he actually is going to be the interim coach for the bowl game.
Yeah, I mean, look, Boise lost their league title game. I think a little bit of a reset because they didn't have a bad season. I mean, they're not like a trash team.
No, not at all. They were in the Mountain West Championship
Yeah,
game.
they're in their conference title game, man. I mean, look, I'm betting the line on this one. I just feel like there's a lot of changes going on at North Texas, and this is a game where Boise State can kind of just – I mean, this is a recruiting game for Boise too, dude. Like, it is. I mean, they're not where they were before, so they got to take advantages of being on primetime TV, man.
Okay. I'm not going to argue with that.
I mean, what other opportunity do they have anymore? I mean, they don't have these big ABs. They're not on the game. I mean, they're never on anymore.
Yeah.
Other than like CBS Sports Network and like Fox Sports 5.
For sure. I think this is an opportunity for. Does North Texas want to play in this game anymore? Probably not.
I'm going to say no.
Moving on, the Myrtle Beach, Dirty Myrtle Beach Bowl, Marshall versus the Yukon Huskies.
I do have a play. I'll let you go first.
Okay, so UConn has a couple key guys out, but they've been out guys for the entire year. Marshall, they do have two stud running backs. Ali came back from his mental health vacation, and they are one of the most elite running teams in the country. Having said that, 10.5 is too many damn points that you're giving Jim Mora.
Oh, yeah.
And this UConn team.
Oh, yeah.
I'm taking UConn plus 10.5.
I am a Democrat. I have selected the University of Connecticut plus the points.
Your rationale?
Your rationale.
Yeah.
I think Jim Moore is a good coach, and I think that you're going to give him a little bit of time to prepare. He's going to hang within that number.
Yeah, and Marshall, like I said, they just want to run the ball down your throat. They just want to, ball control.
Dude, UConn could win.
UConn could win.
The game?
I have like one or two like plays with like a Marshall money line. I'm actually legitimately nervous about
They
that.
could win the game, dude.
Yeah. I think Marshall does win, but I think it's more in the range of like 4 points.
All this shit we talked on this program.
I know.
And it comes down to this.
I'm riding with UConn. Let's go, Jim Mora. Okay, we are going to Boise, Idaho for the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, which is actually a name and sponsor I can understand and get behind. We have Eastern Michigan, very hot at the end of the year. versus San Jose State, who ever since their teammate died, they went from being the best team in the Mountain West to dog shit. Tuesday, December 20th, ESPN at 3:30 p.m. I want nothing to do with this game. What about you?
Dude, I actually kind of like San Jose State.
Why?
Well, they're favored. I did have a little streak with them where I was betting them in the middle of the season.
Yeah,
so I don't
too.
know if it's like. Here's the thing about gamblers. Sometimes we get crushes on teams that made us money.
100%.
And like it's almost the same as dating. It's like you date a girl for like a couple weeks and you're like, oh, this girl's fucking cool.
Yeah.
And then like you find out they weren't. But
Right.
then like a couple weeks later, you're like, man, that girl was fucking cool, man. Like I don't know, man. This team made me some money this year. So like I just feel like I need to like simp out for them a little bit and bet them here.
Okay.
This isn't a big play. I mean, this is just like a stupid game. I mean, what else am I going to do on Tuesday, December 20th besides bet this game?
Yeah, I mean, this is I hear you. This is a game that I'm telling you right now I want nothing to do with, and I'll probably still wind up betting it. So, moving on here, roofclaim.com. What the
I'm going to it. I'm going to it.
What the hell is so is that like
We're going.
you get destroyed by a hurricane,
We're doing it.
your roof is off, and you go to roofclaim.com?
It's in Boca Raton. Or it's the Boca Raton Bowl.
Yeah, no, the bowl is in Boca Raton. Tuesday, December 20th, ESPN at 7:30
Roof
p.m.
claim. The closest one is in Cobb County, Georgia, so it's got to be some kind of hurricane fucking insurance.
Okay.
That's why they don't exist up here.
Right. That makes sense.
It's got a lot of good reviews, though. It's probably why they have a bowl game.
Yeah, there you go. We have the Liberty, former Hugh Freezes, versus Toledo. This is one of my heaviest plays on the card. I am all over. Dude, this game opened up at like Toledo -1.5. I cranked it. It's now up to Toledo -5. I think anything under 7, you absolutely crank Toledo. DeQuan Finn, he looked really good in that MAC championship game. He is a Toledo offense. He's going to have a couple more weeks to heal that ankle. He's going to be sauce. Liberty was the worst team down the stretch. Hugh Freeze and that entire coaching staff is gone. Those kids are in I don't give a fuck mode.
So on my research yesterday, when I got to this game, I didn't know if we were going to do a bowl season boss cock lock. Like one bet
Yeah.
of the whole of this was the one that I was on.
Even more than Fresno.
Yeah, I think
Wow.
Toledo is like the absolute bomb bet, dude. I just think that like Liberty will have no desire to be here. I mean, the line's already moved 2 points. This could move even more.
And
I mean, if you're listening to us just because you like hashtag gambling Twitter and you just found this podcast, bet this game now because it will go up.
And I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here, but you know, Hugh Freeze at Auburn there, building that staff, building his roster. I'm sure there's going to be a couple kids from Liberty he's going to bring over. Maybe not a lot, but
They never go alone.
probably 3 or 4.
They never go alone.
If you know you're going to go play for Hugh Freeze at Auburn, do you play this bowl game? If you're Liberty?
no,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah. I don't know.
Toledo is going to kill this team.
Yeah, I think Toledo's pretty good with Finn being healthy. I think,
Now, I don't know how many fucking people are going to travel from Ohio to this place.
to the roofclaim.com bowl.
Yeah. I mean, if you're in Ohio right now, how many people really got money to do that?
True. But are people in Virginia from Liberty going there as well? Especially now that Hugh Freeze is gone?
I don't know if they might have some kind of culty alumni support, like just like Southern Pride kind of thing going on. I can't really comment on it. I mean, I've only really drove through Virginia before. I haven't really like met people from there, whatnot.
Okay.
So, I mean, bottom line is you're going to see empty stands at this game.
Yeah, this is an empty stands game.
And it's just what it is. I just still think Toledo's a better bet here.
Bang, Toledo. Moving on. R&L Carriers. What is R&L Carriers?
I got to look it up. We're looking it up.
I'm going to guess it's trucking.
Looking it up.
That sounds like a trucking name.
R&L
R&L Carriers New Orleans Bowl, Western Kentucky versus South Alabama. Talk about games I'm nervous about. I absolutely cranked South Alabama when starting quarterback Austin Reed. This dude had over 4,000 yards and 36 touchdowns. He entered the transfer portal, but not so fast, my friend. This dude just got NIL money from some like Western Kentucky hillbilly moonshiner. He is
bootlegger.
He has now opted to return to Western Kentucky. He's playing in the bowl game. This line went from like 7.5, 8, all the way down to South Alabama minus 4.5.
4.5.
And I am once again stuck on this game, very nervous about it.
So, yeah, this is a no play for me, but from my research, it is a freighting company. So it is a freighting, shipping, and logistics company. So it's essentially a fake company.
Gotcha.
It's
Okay.
like analytics for truckers, which isn't real life. They just drive to point A, point B.
Moving on, this is a bowl that I have a weird play on, but I am very much looking forward to it. We are going down to TCU's home stadium in Fort Worth Thursday, December 23rd, ESPN at 7:30 p.m. The Lockheed Martin We Will Kill Everybody in the Middle East Armed Forces Bowl. Baylor versus Air Force.
Yeah, I mean, will the game be played if there's a nuclear war before this game?
Probably. Still so. I mean, you're talking about Fort Worth is only an hour and a half drive from Baylor, so you do have that. Having said that, this bowl is always like 70% military people. And obviously, if you're talking about the DFW area, I mean, fucking the military is just absolutely out the wazoo there. I do think Air Force is going to have a lot of support. And also, dude, Air Force always plays hard.
Dude,
always.
It's really tough fading academy teams in bowl games because they treat it like it's a Super Bowl.
Yeah. I'm not in love with the line here.
I don't love it either, but I will say that I did take the points.
The line right now is Air Force plus 5.5. I don't think that's the worst play in the world. The play that I'm all in on, the team over for Air Force is 21.5. I love the over.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's a play that if you're gonna do team totals, this is definitely one to stab at. I mean, the total for the game's 49, so I mean that's half the points right there. So it's not a bad bet. I mean, I'm on Air Force personally, but
this is interesting because Air Force, of course, doesn't have a single opt-out. Baylor is only down safety Devin Neal, had about 41 tackles.
No, Baylor's pretty much fully. That's why they're laying what they're laying.
Yeah. So I mean,
it's
this
just
is
like it's so. These teams are so douchey. These academy teams, man. Like you got to remember, some of these kids are older too. They're like 27-year-old kids, like that went to air. Like, and this is their Super Bowl, dude.
Yeah,
like,
I think this is going to be a great bowl game because, like I said, you are seeing two teams at nearly full strength. And it's going to be in a really raucous atmosphere there in Fort Worth. You're going to have plenty of Baylor fans there, but you're also going to have plenty of, military people, fucking fist pumping and waving towels and being drunk. So I think this game is going to be sauce and a must watch. Moving on, the Radiance Technologies Independence Bowl. Louisiana versus Houston. I have a giant play on this game. Friday, December 23rd on ESPN at 3 p.m. from Shreveport, Louisiana. Do you know what Dana Holgorsen doesn't do?
He doesn't do a lot of shit, but you can tell me what he doesn't do.
He doesn't do bowl games. This dude has an absolutely atrocious bowl record. He has openly said he only views bowl games as practices for next season.
That doesn't even make sense. Like seriously, dude, how does that even make sense?
This line is, as of right now...
Oh, it's practice for 9 months from now.
Yeah,
right. That makes
sense.
Well,
plus he runs an air raid, which, traditionally air raid teams don't do good in bowls because they don't have those reps for all those weeks. Combine that with a coach who openly isn't even trying to win.
This is a no play for me, dude. This game is stupid. I want no parts of this.
So the line is Louisiana plus 6.5. I do think you should tease it up just to be completely sure, up to Louisiana plus 7.5. But I think if you just take, lose a little bit of the juice there and take the 7.5, I do think you need to slam Louisiana, just knowing Dana Holgorsen and this Houston team fucking sucked the end of the year,
dude.
They were giving up 70 points.
I
like
fucking
SMU.
bet them like towards the end of year one game, and I was so pissed, dude. Like,
Yeah.
they're fucking stupid.
I think Louisiana, this is a very big play for me. And also, Houston is down receiver Nathaniel Dell, whereas Louisiana basically is out nobody. I mean, they did lose their quarterback in the middle of the season, but outside of that, it looks like all their guys are playing. Moving on, the Union Home Mortgage, which by the way are the entire real estate market's about to collapse.
What the fuck is going on with this?
It's about to be 2008 all over again.
Well, dude, I saw someone map this out, man. I mean, every time a Democrats like run this country, like the house mortgages, it's a scam. It's part of the scam. I mean, the 2008 one with Obama was nuts. Did you know how much shit went down with the housing scams back then?
W. Bush had a lot to do with that too. Who was basically a Democrat.
He was a Democrat. Yeah. He's not. He literally like has parties with Michelle Obama. Yeah. They like kiss on TV together.
True. The Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl, Wake Forest versus Missouri, Friday, December 23rd, ESPN at 6:30 p.m. from Raymond James Stadium, Bucks Home Stadium in Tampa, Florida. Man, I got to be honest with you. I'm fading the fuck out of ACC teams. Having said that, Missouri receiver Dominic Lovett, this guy was third in the SEC, 846 yards. He's in the portal. 3 key defenders for Missouri: lineman Isaiah McGuire, DJ Coleman, and safety Martez Manuel. They all pieced out. They said, fuck Mizzou, fuck Columbia, we're going to the NFL. You still have on the other side Sam Hartman there at quarterback. I don't know, dude. I have a small play on Wake Forest money line. This is Wake Forest -1. So I do think there is some value in a Wake
high
money line.
Total. It's 60.5. We talk shit on this league all the time, ACC. But I do think this is a team that was supposed to be, better, kind of didn't do their best job this year, but still ended up in a bowl game against an SEC team. They're actually favored, like we said. I'm throwing a unit on Wake Forest, too, so I'm with it.
Okay. Moving on here, the Easy Post Hawaii Bowl. Easy Post. What do you think that is? Post-it notes, maybe, or post it on computer? I don't know. Easy.
It's got to be some kind of I got to look it up, dude. It's got to be some kind of, sticky note company.
I do have a play on this. This is actually a very weird line.
What the fuck is it called? Sticky note?
No, Easy Post.
The
Easy Post Hawaii Bowl, Middle Tennessee versus San Diego State, Saturday, December 24th, ESPN at 8 p.m. Coming from the Clarence T.C. Ching Athletics Complex in Honolulu.
It's like a label company where if you have small business and you gotta mail shit out, you can fuck with them and they'll get you better labels quicker and cool shit. I mean, I don't know how the fuck they have a bowl game, but
so San Diego is obviously.
I didn't know small business was doing that great right now.
San Diego is obviously the closest you can get Hawaii from the mainland, whereas Middle Tennessee, it's a hell of a journey. This line opened up at actually San Diego State was +1.5. I absolutely cranked it. The line is all the way up to San Diego State -7. I would tease that down to 6.5 because the San Diego State team does like the ball control. I do like Maben a lot more at quarterback. I called him Black Tim Tebow before.
That's racist.
Usually Brady Hoke gets his guys to play hard in games like this. This actually could be a decent bowl, though. Neither team has any kind of significant opt-out.
Yeah, so I actually think this is gonna be a blowout. I took San Diego State with the big numbers, -7. I mean, I didn't get it what you got it at, but I mean the fact that it got to this point. I mean, when you see something go from +1 to 7, I mean sharps aren't exactly that stupid.
Yeah,
so they're gonna blow this team out, man.
Yeah,
and like you said, this is a distance thing too. It's like San Diego State. This is easy to get to, man.
Yeah, I do think if you want to play a little bit safe, just take the half point down to 6.5, or this is a money line sprinkle on a parlay.
Easy.
I don't think San Diego State
easy money line on a parlay, dude.
Quick Lane Bowl, New Mexico State versus Bowling Green, Monday, December 26th, ESPN at 2:30 p.m. from the Lions. Suddenly the Lions are good in football. Ford Field in Detroit. This is actually a decent play for me. I've never bet Bowling Green in my life. This New Mexico State team literally had to beat Valparaiso, who is a substandard FCS team.
They're isn't that a gas station, Valparaiso?
Yeah, like I'm pretty sure New Mexico State actually beat 2 FCS teams to qualify for a bowl game, so they should not be in a bowl this year. And the line is right now Bowling Green -3. Once again, I think you tease us down to Bowling Green -2.5, and you absolutely slam Bowling Green.
Yeah, I mean, so my play on this, looking at it, we're on December 26th here.
Yeah.
Looks like I have the under 48 in this game.
Okay.
That's what I went with because it's fucking stupid. It's a dumb bowl. It's a bad team versus a team that is better than them, but yet barely favored. So I figured this might be an under game.
Bowling Green doesn't have any opt-outs. I like that. New Mexico State doesn't either, except punter Josh Carlson, who averaged about 41 yards a punt, pretty decent. He's transferred to Arizona State. A squad like New Mexico State, do they have a legitimate backup punter? I'm saying no.
No one ever has one.
Yeah, even
the NFL, they got to go get one off the streets.
Yeah.
Eagles just had to do it, I think.
Like, New Mexico State sucks. Their punter is out, and they are basically, nobody from New Mexico is...
Dude, schools don't even really recruit punters. They take, walk-ons or rugby players, dude.
Yeah.
Just 'cause they don't have to burn a scholarship.
Nobody from New Mexico is going up to Detroit, whereas Bowling Green is...
right there.
It's right there. It's like...
it's a couple hours.
Yeah, they're going to have a decent home field advantage there. Moving on, the Camellia Bowl. What the hell is Camellia?
I'm not even looking at it.
That's retarded.
Fuck this.
Camellia Bowl, Georgia Southern versus Buffalo. No play here.
Force it. If it's not there, there's no play for me too. The total's a high. It's 67.5. They think it's going to be a shootout. I don't want to get involved in this. It's a dumb game.
Yeah, I do think if I had to bet it, I would bet Georgia Southern money line. I think Buffalo end of the year really tailed off. Still for me, no play. Moving on here, we're going to the Serve Pro First Responder Bowl, Memphis versus Utah State, Tuesday, December 27th, ESPN at 3:15 p.m. from the Cotton Bowl there in Dallas. Man, I got to be honest with you. I love this Utah State team, the way they finished the year. They went 5-2. They kind of rounded into form from the team that won the Mountain West literally last year. Having said that, leading rusher Calvin Tyler Jr. did enter the NFL draft, as opposed to, Memphis here does not have any opt-outs. But I don't know, man. Does Memphis want to be here? Does Utah State want to be here? I did have some early action. I got Utah State money line as high as plus 240. It has come down now. Sal Babs, do you have a play here?
I do. It's actually on Utah State +7.
Okay.
So we're kind of in the same range as that. But people, I wouldn't bet this game like Goose said. If you're going to throw this in a parlay with a money line or something, it's probably your better option. I really can't tell you why I did this. I just felt like Utah State's Mormon, and those kids kind of have it in their doctrine to try hard and you know.
The play that I really liked that I did with this when it opened up is I put this game in a round robin. I did a 10-game round robin, and I included the Utah State money line. Not necessarily completely believing it would hit, but thinking it had a decent shot. I'm still kind of in that zone. I wouldn't be surprised if it hit, but I'm not completely confident, but I do think at +7, I like Utah State here. Moving on here, Tuesday, December 27th, ESPN at 6:45 p.m. from Birmingham, Alabama. We have the Ticket Smarter Birmingham Bowl, Coastal Carolina versus East Carolina. This line opened up once again at East Carolina -7.5. I absolutely slammed this game.
I don't like this game.
Also, Grayson McCall entered the transfer portal, and he's still going to transfer, yet this dude has decided to come back and play in the bowl game. Explain that one to me.
You can't. Dude, I want no parts of this game. It's literally a fucking rivalry game in a bowl game. I look, the total's high. It's 62.5. If I was going to take this, I would take the over.
Yeah, the defensive coordinator, Chad Staggs, is going to be the interim coach. Obviously, Jamie Chadwell just took the Liberty job, which was interesting. Their center, who was first team all Sunbelt, he entered the portal. McCall is still kind of banged up. Maybe he heals up these past couple weeks. They're down a defensive end, a cornerback. East Carolina, they do have their starting center as well is out. Their tight end, who had 41 catches, he's not playing. Outside of that, though, they look like they're going to be at full strength.
If I were to give a lean, dude, I mean, I feel like there's still people out there that still think of Coastal Carolina as shit from last season. And they'll take the points, but I feel like East Carolina.
With Grayson McCall announcing he's coming back for the game, this line has dropped all the way down to East Carolina -7.5. I would tease that down to East Carolina -7. I think that's a very strong play. I think there's overreaction to Grayson McCall coming back. This Coastal Carolina defense, the end of the year, bro, they were giving up 40 points to everybody.
This one the over's high, dude. I mean, I would take the over this game.
I'm looking at it right now. Actually, the play that I really like even more, the East Carolina team over is 34.5.
Yeah, I mean, dude, the total's high. It makes sense, man.
That's the play. I think you slam East Carolina team over 34.5. That East Carolina team can cook. I like their quarterback. He's like just good enough that you can bet on him, but not good enough that he's ever going into the NFL.
Those are the best kind of people.
Best kind of people for gamblers. Absolutely. Next game here, Wisconsin versus Oklahoma State, the guaranteed rate bowl. Guaranteed rate.
It's I think that the Chicago White Sox have their stadium named after that.
Really?
Yeah, in baseball. So
Interesting.
There's something.
This is also a baseball game. It is taking place Tuesday, December 27th, ESPN, 10:15 p.m. from Chase Field in Phoenix. Sal Baps, this game opened up at 51.5, the total. And I started hearing rumors of Spencer Sanders from Oklahoma State transferring out. I immediately slammed the under. The under has dropped all the way from 51.5 to 43.5. Graham Mertz from Wisconsin, he is now in the portal. Spencer Sanders is in the portal. Dude, there's a lot of guys under here. Batters are going to be without starters. Their center, Joe Tittman, Kiana Benton, defensive line, Jay Shaw, cornerback. Linebacker Nick Herbig is in the draft.
Yeah, this is a no play. I want no parts of this game, dude.
It's kind of a weird situation. Jim Leonard is the interim coach, but he's not going to be on the Wisconsin staff.
If Barry Alvarez was coaching Wisconsin, I'd fucking take him.
Yeah,
but he's not.
For me, I'm feeling great about my opening underplay here. That absolutely hits.
Oh, dude, for what you did, you got the best. That is peak value, man. So you're kind of like with it.
Yeah,
but for people out there now, like this is you can't bet this.
Yeah, you can't bet this game. Absolutely not. Moving on, Military Bowl presented by Peraton, UCF versus Duke. Are you ready?
I am ready because we're on the same thing here.
I am absolutely crushing.
His eyes rolled back when he said it.
Yo, there may only be like 2 parlays that don't have this Duke. Like, I don't even know if I have. Actually, now that I think of it, I think I have like 1 parlay that doesn't include Duke. I am all over Duke.
Duke was our squad this year, dude. I also am on Duke as well.
I've actually teased up Duke in a lot of plays to 6.5. Listen, this UCF team, John Reese Plumlee, has been banged up the end of the year. Their backup quarterback is gone. Their number 1 receiver, 73 catches, Ryan O'Keefe, gone. Top linebacker, Jeremiah Jean-Baptiste, 52 tackles, gone. Starting defensive back, he is gone. Duke, not a single opt-out.
Nah, man, dude, I'm with it, man. And look, dude, this is value, dude, too. I mean, this is a low line for a team that's profitable. Duke's profitable.
Yeah, and I mean, from Annapolis, Maryland, from Durham, it's not that horrible of a drive. I mean, UCF does have a pretty good fan base, I will say that, but I don't think it even matters, honestly. I
don't think it matters.
I think this is just I think UCF is down some of their dogs. I think they had really bad momentum going to this game, juxtaposed with, Duke. I think Duke is the one ACC team that you can put the mortgage on.
Yeah, you can take Duke. We've bet them all year, man. They've won games when they were like +10.
Yeah, absolutely. I cannot wait for that game. AutoZone Liberty Bowl, Kansas versus Arkansas, Wednesday, December 28th, ESPN at 5:30 p.m. From Memphis, Tennessee. I like the over here. I think Jalen Daniels is back at quarterback for Kansas. Obviously, Arkansas is, as long as KJ Jefferson is their quarterback, they're usually pretty good there. Not to mention, Arkansas is down defensive coordinator Barry Odom. He took the UNLV job. Why Marcus Arroyo got fired, I don't know. First team All-SEC linebacker Drew Sanders is gone. Center Ricky Stromberg, first team All-SEC, he is gone. Another linebacker is out. There's like 3 defensive backs for Arkansas that are out. Meanwhile, Kansas, that defense is pure garbage, and I do think our boy Leopold, head coach there, give him a couple weeks. He's going to scheme this Kansas offense to put points up. I love the over here.
Yeah, my play here was actually on Kansas +3. So
really,
yeah, for your exact reason, I think that they kind of hit a wall a little bit this year, like when they kind of re-upped him and everything. But I think all that noise is over with. I think he's going to focus on a bowl winner for Kansas. Like, Kansas is like a bigger game for Kansas, man. Like, it really is. Like, a bowl win for Kansas in football, dude, is absolutely fucking huge, man.
Yeah.
I really got to think that this means more to Kansas's players. It really do, man. I mean, my dad always tells me, dude, you never forget about motivation in bowl game betting. Never forget it, because it will come back to haunt you if you don't think about motivation. Opt-outs matter, all that matter. But I really believe that this is a program game for Kansas.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I just think the over here is just an absolute no-brainer. So that's my play. But, yeah, if you're rolling with Sal Baps, I do think Kansas could win this. Maybe you moneyline Kansas. I mean, if you're going to take Kansas, I would take the money line.
Yeah, they're really going to lose by 2. I mean, they're going to win if they're going to be. It's going to be close.
Holy shit! Another baseball game here. Petco Park in San Diego, Wednesday, December 28th. Fox at 8 p.m. The San Diego County Credit Union Holiday Bowl.
The Holiday Bowl is always fire.
It's always fire.
And it usually always goes over.
It usually does.
The total is 72.
And
it's 72.
It's not high enough, because we have the Oregon Mighty Ducks.
It's not high enough.
Versus North Carolina minus a defense. Man, I don't even know where to start. There's a lot of guys out for this game, especially on the defensive side of the ball. First team All Pac-12 cornerback for Oregon, Christian Gonzalez. He's gone. Linebacker Justin Flo has transferred out. Meanwhile here, North Carolina, they've lost a couple defensive linemen. Cornerbacks. Dude, think about how bad North Carolina cornerbacks are. And they are now down Tony Grimes and Storm Duck. Both are starters. Like, you're right. The over here is 72. I think the over is still the play.
Dude, how does it go under? Tell me, argue me how it would go under.
Well, Phil Longo is, as Sal Baps literally just blew his nose on some of my Post-it notes.
I already ripped it off.
Okay. Phil Longo, he is leaving the North Carolina team to be the OC at Wisconsin. So I don't know who calls plays. Josh Downs may not play for North Carolina, their stud receiver. So maybe that's how you don't get the over. I don't know.
When is a Holiday Bowl not lit though?
Yeah.
It's usually lit.
Yeah. We have, moving on here, the Tax Act Texas Bowl from Houston.
The Tax Act! How dare they just mock us?
Yeah. Pay your taxes, peasant.
And watch this bowl game.
Yeah. Texas Tech versus Ole Miss, Wednesday, December 28th. ESPN at 9 p.m. from the Texan Stadium there in Houston. Yo, did you see that Texas Tech sold out their allotment in 45 minutes?
No, but I'm on them. I took them +4.
Listen, as a guy who once lived in Texas, Houston is run by A&M. Having said that, there is a sneaky amount of Texas Tech alumni in Houston. I think Texas Tech packs the stands. When Tyler Shuck came back from that injury, Texas Tech was a very good team. The line's +4, Texas Tech. I like Texas Tech +4.
I love it. I took them too. And what you mentioned about their fan base and shit, I know it's a different sport, but when they're in the tournament in college basketball, they pack stadiums in the north, dude.
Yeah.
For basketball. And this is a football state, mind you.
Yeah.
So they're going to be at this game. I mean, this is This is Texas Tech. I mean, this is also possible. Money line bet for people if you're looking at a dog parlay to win some money, dude. This is Mississippi's a team I think the public's going to bet, and they're going to lose, man.
Moving on here. Thursday, December 29th, ESPN at 2 p.m. Once again, a baseball stadium. I guess that's the new thing. I mean, this is the Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl. Obviously, the Pinstripe Bowl has been around for years.
Stadium, yeah.
Why is Bad Boy Mowers? Like, that's kind of like a weird sponsor for the Pinstripe Bowl.
Very odd.
Syracuse versus Minnesota in the Bronx there.
No play for me. I think it's a garbage game.
I have like one parlay where I took Minnesota money line. Right now, Minnesota's -7.5. I don't know if Tanner Morgan plays for them at quarterback. I still think they probably win. There's a lot of guys for Syracuse who have gone in the portal. Defensive coordinator just took the Nebraska job.
Yeah, saw that. I don't like it, so I don't like it. It's just not
usually
for me.
PJ Fleck's pretty good in bowls. I do think if you want a money line Minnesota here, that's a decent play. I would absolutely not take Minnesota -7.5.
I'm out on this one.
Yeah, me too. Cheez-It Bowl.
The best bowl on the board.
Did you see that?
The Cheez-It Bowl.
Did you see like 4 guys from each squad the night before go in like a VIP room at the hotel, and it's like Cheez-It sheets, like bowls of Cheez-Its.
It's fucking awesome.
Like you probably get a hooker who has like Cheez-Its on her nipples.
Dude, I love it. It's the best crud bowl out there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be a shit bowl, like just embrace.
Yeah, like
embrace.
They
it.
were the first bowl to embrace like the trollness of how shitty their bowl game was.
Yeah. Thursday, December 29th from Camping World Stadium in Orlando, Florida State versus Oklahoma. Like I said, man, I hate taking ACC team here again, but I wouldn't take the line here of 7.5. I would tease Florida State, though, down to 6. And the reason being, Oklahoma's out a lot of guys. Starting tackles, Anton Harrison and Wanya Morris. Defensive lineman, Jalen Redmond. Running back, Eric Gray. They've all opted out. They also had a receiver, Theo Weiss, go in the portal. Florida State does have a couple legit NFL prospects, but they're saying they want to play in this bowl. When you have NFL draftable guys and they're saying they're playing in the bowl game, I don't know. That just gives me all the vibes of like this team wants to be there.
Look, I took Florida State. I mean, I just laid the points, dude. I mean, you got to get out of your head like what happened in that like Florida game. Florida State's been pretty fucking good all year, man.
Yeah, I just it's hard for me. As fucking breaking news, we are going to get destroyed on this BYU game. BYU quarterback Jaron Hall sounds unlikely to play. So there goes like 50% of my parlays.
Well.
Breaking news. Breaking fucking news.
That doesn't mean they can't cover.
I mean, it pretty much does. They said, though, it sounds unlikely. They didn't say he absolutely wasn't going to play.
I've seen crazier things happen.
But if you hear this, like I said, wait until right before the game starts. Dude, this is another game I cannot wait for. It's always sauce. Valero Alamo Bowl.
Always. Love it.
The over. Talk about this. This game always hits the over. Texas versus Washington. Thursday, December 29th, ESPN at 9 p.m. from the Alamo Dome. What a fucking great place to watch a college football game.
Great, dude. Great.
Listen, there's like no opt-outs. I mean, if backup quarterback Hudson Card, he went in the portal. That's like it. So I guess maybe if Quinn Ewers gets hurt again.
I'm on the over here. It's the play. This is an over that I took. I think there's going to be 100 points in this game.
I actually like Washington here. I know, like, San Antonio is only like an hour, 10 minutes from Austin, so this is obvious home field advantage for Texas. I think Penix can dice up this Texas
That's why
defense.
I like the over, man.
Yeah, I mean, the over is a good play here. It is. We're still wait and see on the Texas running backs, Bijan Robinson and Roschon Johnson. I don't think that they play this game, but I could be wrong in that. They have not announced one way or another yet. But I don't know. I just have this feeling that Washington, Kalen DeBoer, you give him a couple weeks. I don't know. I'm
a big fan of Penix, man. I fucking like the kid. I think he's a good quarterback.
I kind of like Washington money line here. I got it as high as plus 185. It's down to 145. The line's 4.5, so I don't know. it's not a huge play for me, but I kind of like Washington here. Talk about shit bowls that embrace, just how shit they are. Duke's Mayo Bowl, where you get 3 pounds of cum dumped on your...
You literally do. That's what they do. Don't they pour mayo on you and shit?
They pour like 3 pounds of mayo. It looks like you were just in fucking Asian Persuasion 19.
Bukkake video.
Yeah, giant Bukkake video. Man, I hate this game.
Fuck, I don't like it. I don't want to touch it. I don't want nothing to do. I don't even like mayonnaise. Fuck this game.
Maryland versus NC State, Friday, December 30th from Charlotte there.
No play.
No play, dude.
Play.
Is Talia going to play?
I don't care.
Maryland's out a bunch of dudes, but, I mean, can you really bet this NC State team?
No, you can't bet any of these teams, dude.
I think this is a game that you wait to see if quarterback Talia is going to play because Raheem Jarrett's gone.
If we're going to talk about program games, I would say Maryland needs to win a bowl game. Loxley needs to win a bowl game.
I hear you, but, like, all this team does is throw the ball. Raheem Jarrett, gone. Jacob Copeland, gone. Tight end, gone.
That's why it's a no play.
Dante Demas, gone. Like that's like
no play.
Like they're down like 4 out of their top 6 pass catchers.
Yeah,
like
I mean Maryland's really dependent on wide receiver play.
Like if you're Talia, and you're probably going to come back for 1 year, do you really want to play in a game where you're going to get?
You shouldn't play.
Yeah, I would actually lean here NC State plus we're looking at 1.5.
Yeah, it's 1.
Yeah, I mean this is a no play, but
no play.
If you want to get a kind of little take a walk in the wild side, I would moneyline NC State here just because I don't think Talia plays this game. Tony the Tiger Sun Bowl, Pitt versus UCLA, Friday, December 30th, CBS at 2 p.m. from the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas. Dude, I'm all over UCLA here. What about you?
You changed my mind on this. I'm all over UCLA as well. I know that I talked about some ridiculous Pittsburgh propaganda, but UCLA, they're just superior to Pittsburgh.
UCLA doesn't have a single opt-out.
Their
defensive coordinator is having health issues. He may not be there, but juxtapose that with Pitt. Pitt lost Keaton Slovis, starting quarterback. He's gone.
He's gone.
You're talking about a backup, or even they're talking about this third-string guy may play. And then Pitt's All-American defensive lineman, Cansey there, he's not playing in the bowl.
This is UCLA, man. This is it's closer if you want to talk demographics.
Yeah. I the line's only 6 here. I think UCLA absolutely
6
rolls.
6 is value.
Yeah, I think UCLA absolutely rolls Pitt, and Pitt. Even with Slovis, if he were there, I don't think they would have the offense to come back. They definitely can't now. That's a very big play for me. UCLA minus 6.
Yeah, I'm with it, dude. I think UCLA rolls them.
The Tax Slayer Gator Bowl, Notre Dame versus South Carolina, December 30th, Friday. That is ESPN at 3:30 p.m. from Jacksonville. I've already talked about this game at the very beginning of the show. I was all over South Carolina. I don't fucking know now, dude. Like. Notre Dame's down their dudes. They're down their quarterback. They're down Michael Mayer. But South Carolina now is down their top 2 rushers. That receiver for South Carolina and Spencer Rattler were fucking in fuego fire at the end of the year. I still kind of like South Carolina here, but this is not like...
Yeah, I mean, Spencer's playing good football right now. I was not a fan of the kid. I don't really like him that much, but he has kind of... He's become what they thought he was.
Yeah.
But how much of that is real? How much of it was just a hot couple games? If we could crown every quarterback for a hot couple games, there'd be a lot of cool quarterbacks out there. So this is a game where I think you're actually right on. I think Vegas knows South Carolina is the better team here. And I think they're laying with Notre Dame because they know that the public will actually just auto bet a brand like that in a bowl game. Like there's going to be people that bet this game that don't even know their quarterback's out.
Same with Texas, Washington.
Right, yeah. I mean, when it comes to bowl season, you got a lot of people home from school, a lot of college kids, a lot of people that take off work, and they're squares, and they bet brands. They're going to bet Texas. They're going to bet Notre Dame. They're going to bet teams that they know. I mean, unless you really bet college football league, we bet college football. South Carolina finished the season pretty fucking good.
Breaking news, Sal Baps. UCLA will be allowed to move to the Big Ten, by the way.
Sucks, Gavin Newsom. Fix your fucking state. Maybe this won't happen.
Pac-12 is officially basically Deion Sanders is the only hope for saving the Pac-12 now.
Yeah. That will just become the Mountain West.
Moving on here, the Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl.
Maybe that was a good move to go there after all.
Yeah, actually, it may be. Barstool Sports Arizona Bowl, Ohio versus Wyoming, Friday, December 30th, from the Cardinal Stadium there in Tucson. This game opened, and I put a couple plays on Wyoming, and I immediately am regretting this because the Cowboys, basically, they just run the ball, and it looks like they're going to be down their top 2 or 3 running backs. Leading receiver is gone. They have 2 cornerbacks out. Ohio did not look very good the end of the season.
Oh, God, they are not good.
I'm regretting, though, money line. I still think Wyoming could win this game, but this is, like, if I were to redo, this is no play.
Yeah, this is no play for me, but I will watch it and laugh at some of the Barstool guys out there. I know Big Cat will probably slam Ohio since he's like a huge Maxion dude. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. No play for me, though. I'm not a fan of these teams. Don't like them, and I don't want to bet them.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on here.
This is the game I think we talked about the most.
Yeah, Capital One Orange Bowl, Tennessee versus Clemson, December 30th, ESPN, 8:30 p.m. from Miami.
Welcome to Miami.
Man, like I said, I cranked Tennessee. I think half that defense for Clemson's going to be out. I still think I'm right on that. Cade Klubnik, though, is an upgrade over DJ Ukulele. I think this offense, I think Josh Heupel can put up points with, like, us. Like, we could go out there for Tennessee, and we could put up 10 points in that offense. Having said that, though, Hendon Hooker obviously out for the year. Milton does have a cannon, but now he has to throw without Tillman and Hyatt there at receiver. The line hasn't moved, though, with Hyatt out. The line is still, you're looking at Tennessee plus 6.5. I do think that says something. I do think when more of these stud first-round guys from Clemson opt out, I do think this line probably moves at like 3.5. So I'm not completely worried about this, but if I were to redo it, I would probably, instead of money lining Tennessee, I would take Tennessee plus 6.5.
Yeah, dude, the total 63.5. Clemson obviously is very dependent on their defense, but even though they can score points now, but they've been a defensive program for a while. I actually like the under in the game, even with the guys out from Clemson.
Interesting.
It's a high total. I think I'm going to go with this under here. I think this is what I'm going to do. I don't know, man. I mean, this isn't a big. This is the douchiest like bowl that's cool because it's like this game would have been way cooler with both teams at full, like everyone playing, and I mean Hooker as well. It would have been a cool game, but it lost a lot of steam to it, man.
Yeah, for sure. Moving on here, the All-State Sugar Bowl, Alabama versus Kansas State, Saturday, December 31st, ESPN at 12 p.m. from the Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. Yo, you know what Bama does when they don't make the playoff?
Tank.
Fucking tank. I'm telling you right now, like half this squad, they already have a number of guys who have entered the portal. I don't think there's a chance in hell Bryce Young plays. I don't think Will Anderson plays. I think more guys opt out. Saban cleans house. And I think Kansas State, like, actually wins this game.
Yeah, man. I mean, Kansas State, man. I mean, what a hell of a team. What a hell of a season. Although I do disagree with you. I do actually think I do like Alabama in this game. I know I complained about, like, oh, people betting brands and stuff. I still got to believe Alabama backups are still better than some of these guys on Kansas State, man. I mean, these are still, like, 5-star guys that sit the bench.
I don't know, man. Deuce Vaughn and Howard there look pretty good at quarterback. I mean, they did beat, even though it was a bullshit in overtime, they did beat TCU.
They did, yeah, they did. But, you know, it's going to be...
They beat TCU. They beat TCU from that Cowboys Stadium, which is like literally 3 miles from Fort Worth.
It's going to be a month after that. The momentum of that's going to be gone. I still think Alabama... I mean, you said that, you know, it's his bowl record and that whatnot. They don't make the playoffs, but they played Michigan a couple years ago and they didn't make the playoffs, and they fucking killed them. They played Michigan State in a bowl game when I was in college. Michigan State had, like, a really good team. They had Mark Ingram and shit, like, who played at Bama still.
Yeah, but that was a
They
playoff.
beat them 31-7.
That was a playoff game.
It was not a playoff game. That was the game that marked. I'm talking in 2011 at Capital One Bowl in Florida because I was going to go to it, and it was a bullshit game. Alabama had nothing to play for, and they blew them out.
In 2011, Bama was still ascending. I mean, they weren't the empire they are today. Like, if you're a Bama fan, are you going to this bowl game?
That was just off the top of my head, dude. I mean, you'd have to pull. I don't really give a fuck about this game that much to really like dive into it, but I don't think Saban's as bad as you think when he doesn't make the playoffs. I still think like they have enough of a reset and they'll go into it and play well.
I think Saban is in full recruiting mode. I think Bill O'Brien is handing out his resume to anybody who will look at it. And
that's not going to come till NFL season's over, so that's not going to affect this game.
I think Kansas State here wins this. Moving on. I absolutely love this game because it's going to be so bad. Dude, what the hell is this? Trans Perfect?
Stop.
The Trans Perfect.
I better hope they're talking about the highway.
Holy shit. Trans Perfect Music City Bowl. Iowa versus Kentucky, Saturday, December 31st, ABC.
No play. The total is 31.
Yo, this isn't even like service. Like the Army-Navy game was 33.
33.
Bro, I am all over here, Kentucky. I am going to tease Kentucky up to plus 3.5. Iowa, that abysmal
How are
Iowa
they favored?
I don't even, honestly, like, I think Kentucky wins this game.
Dude, how are they actually favored?
This is a game that is going to be 10-7. There's no way in hell Kentucky doesn't cover the 3.
Fuck that. I'm taking Kentucky with you, dude. Fuck Iowa, dude. I'm taking Kentucky. You talk me into it. You see that, people? It doesn't take much.
Iowa's down their quarterback, who was horrible. Spencer Petras.
Already horrible.
He's out. Their backup is out.
That's it. Everyone, if you're listening to this right now, run to your nearest sports book and bet Kentucky. I have gone to a no play, to a 5-unit wager on Kentucky money line. This is real. I'm going to Morgantown when I leave here, and I'm putting it in.
Bro, the third stringer of Iowa. Think about how bad that Iowa offense.
Where's my wallet? This is in real time. We're looking this up.
I'm literally.
You have 20,
wow,
40, 60,
you have way more money
80,
than I thought you would.
1, 2. What do you mean? You think I'm like poor? All right. So there's like $500 here. It's going on Kentucky when I leave here.
Well, I would tease it up though. The line's Kentucky plus 2.5.
Money line.
I would tease it up to plus 3.5. There's no way you lose that bet. No. Like I said, this is going to be a 10-7 game either way. There's no way in hell.
Dude, Iowa cannot score the football
at
all. They're incapable of scoring points.
And Kentucky's not going to put up points either. That's why the total is
But they're going to score more than them.
But I do. Yeah, Will Levis is out at quarterback. Rodriguez is out at running back. But having said that, I
cannot believe this line.
Those are two major opt-outs. I get those are two big players, but those are the only opt-outs for Kentucky right now.
I cannot believe this line. And I cannot believe that you thought I would have like $40 in my pocket.
I'm just saying, like, there's no way in hell Kentucky doesn't cover, but if you're talking about a Kentucky, here's the other thing. You know, freaking Mark Stoops is an Iowa alum. He absolutely, like, Mark Stoops
knows what Iowa is.
Mark Stoops legitimately may be the future head coach of Iowa when Kirk Ferentz steps down. This game fucking matters to Stoops. It matters to the entire Stoops family. Bob Stoops went to Iowa too. The entire Stoops family loves Iowa. Mark Stoops wants to win this game.
This is it, people. This is it.
This is the boss cock lock.
This is the boss cock lock.
Even more so than Toledo and Fresno State.
No, this is it. Like, this is... I cannot fathom this line.
Yeah. I do think we should skip the playoff games because I think that's an entire different episode. Maybe next week when we update,
Yeah, dude, we'll get there. I mean, that's like New Year's Eve. We're 2 weeks from that.
Yeah,
playoffs week is a totally separate topic.
I do want to touch briefly, and I hate to do this. I hate to be the bad guy. Cue Taylor Swift anti-hero music right now. Man, Mississippi State is playing Illinois in the ReliaQuest Bowl. It's literally happening in Raymond James Stadium, which has a actual pirate ship in it.
Oh my goodness!
But dude,
you're looking at fate in front of your face, and you're gonna go with logistics.
Dude, listen, Illinois finished the season as the number 1 ranked passing efficiency defense team in the country. I know they played in the Big Ten West, but still, they got some boys in that secondary. Bielema knows how to coach defense. You're talking about, for Mississippi State, starting cornerback, NFL standout Emmanuel Forbes. He already declared weeks ago. Safety Jackie Matthews, gone. Leading receiver, Ra Thomas, gone. Leading running back, I know they don't rush the ball a lot, but still, running back Dylan Johnson, gone. Those were guys that were all out. Now you have the death of Mike Leach. I understand those kids are going to be inspired. I get it. There's a pirate ship in this actual stadium. I know it's fate. But I'm just saying, all those guys are out. You talk about air raid offenses. We already talked about Dana Holgerson. Air raids are horrible in bowl games. They're horrible off bowl buys even. They need those reps and those game repetitions. I hate to say it. I love Illinois money line.
Yeah, I mean, you already know that I'm going with Mississippi State here. And it's not just look, here's the thing. So I read the other day that they were in talks of canceling this football game. This game was going to be canceled. And I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Hardball with Keanu Reeves where he coaches the Little League City team.
Yeah.
And G-Baby dies. And they cancel the game. And the players go to Keanu Reeves. We're playing this fucking game. And they roll the best team in the league.
Yep.
Now, it's a movie, and it's a great story. But I think that shit is real. I think that happens, man. I've seen these reports all over the time, high school football, any sport where a coach dies and a team plays inspired. I get that guys are out, but, dude, like, I'm not playing the stat game with Illinois. This game's going to be 2 months after they played their last game. They couldn't even win the worst Big Ten West league I've ever seen. I don't care what their stats are. They play Iowa and Wisconsin. And I can throw guys out from my fraternity league to stop those offenses. Our boss cock clock is against Iowa. Literally. With a team that can't even score.
I hear you.
I don't like Illinois at all. I just think that this is a game the entire country's rooting for one team, and it's just going to will them to victory.
Yeah, the big money's going to be on Mississippi State in this game.
It already is.
Which is even more so reason why I'm telling you to bet on Illinois. I hate to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy.
Well, my angle, let me contradict myself for a second here. I know we're running on a long episode here, but like to counter my point, this game will be almost a month after the death of Mike Leach. Like if this game was this weekend, you would probably take Mississippi State. But it's going to be a month after. It might be hard to really carry that like fight they have right now.
And I hate to say it, but more kids from Mississippi State may go in the portal now. Just saying. I hate to be that guy. The Goodyear Cotton Bowl Classic, Tulane versus USC.
Usually a good bowl.
Until we find out if Caleb Williams is playing or not, stay away.
Why don't we update this when we do our next episode?
Yeah, we got to
because this is a game that is going to be fun to bet, but we need to know if this guy's playing.
Citrus Bowl, LSU versus Purdue. I did jump on LSU, but every day more guys from LSU are opting out for the NFL draft. I think this is also a game that is wait and see. Obviously, Brom just took the coaching job there at Louisville. Defensive coordinator is following Brom to Louisville.
I don't like the game.
Yeah,
not playing it.
Last one here. I'm all over it. You're going to call me a homer. I am moneylining Penn State in the Rose Bowl Monday, January 2nd versus Utah. And here's my rationale. Utah is basically a Big Ten team. That was very horrible for a team like USC, who just wants to spread you out and play their version of the air raid.
That's why I can't beat them.
For Penn State, they are not going to be intimidated by Utah. Not to mention Utah running back Tavion Thomas out. Their stud tight end Dalton Kincaid, he destroyed USC this year. Destroyed. This tight end had 70 catches. He's not playing in the Rose Bowl. All-American cornerback Clark Phillips is not playing for Utah. Now, Penn State is down Joey Porter, their top cornerback. Well, actually, no. He's not even the top. He's going to go in the first round. He wasn't even Penn State's best cornerback this year. Okay, that's just deep analytics will back that up. Parker Washington, Penn State's leading receiver, he is out. Having said that, I'm saying on a national scene, this is where Nick Singleton and Katron Allen the 2 All-American freshman running backs for Penn State, freshman All-American. Like, this is like, if you already don't know about these kids, you're going to fucking know in this game.
No, I agree. I'm on Penn State as well. There's a better running back room here. Now, quarterback edge I'm going to give to Sunshine, obviously.
Of course.
But it's not like Penn State without those guys can't get stops.
This line is moving, and I think by the time we get to kickoff, it's either going to be pick'em, or I even think Penn State may be like -1.5.
They just have a better running back room. I think you're right. I think you're going to see Singleton play real well. And we're not being homers because, like, I don't even like Penn State at all, and but these running backs are way better than what Utah has. I mean, I just feel like Penn State has more on offense in this game, and defense equals out. And you got to score to win. So I agree. I give Penn State wins.
We were all over the Nittany Lions. Get on this money line right now before this line moves. Sal Baps, it's bowl season. Man, there's a lot. Like, this is the most difficult bowl season in a while to peg as far as, like, getting line value.
It's a lot harder than I thought.
As far as parlays. Having said that, being a man of the people, I am coming back.
Oh, yeah.
With a poontang parlay.
This has got to be it. This is the one.
Serve the Rock a great big piece of that poontang pie?
Are you ready?
Greed, for lack of a better word, is good.
I feel the need for speed.
What's the matter? You got nothing left inside, huh? Because you're training like a damn bum, you know that?
I'm a pussy pirate, my name is Jack Sparrow. Take off my pants, she can see my flesh arrow.
Poontang your ass on out of here.
I find your lack of faith disturbing.
All right, Sal Bap. So basically, this is the parlay that we're going to hit, and then we're going to roll it into the stock market when crypto completely bottoms out, and we are going to absolutely buy up the market when people think crypto is going to zero.
And then we're making a movie.
And we're making $10 million, and then we are making a movie out of it. So that's the plan. So
if you want to be in our movie, start following and listen to the podcast.
So starting out, play number 1. We talked about New Mexico State versus Bowling Green. I am teasing Bowling Green up to -6. That line is -3. Bowling Green is going to smash New Mexico State. Bowling Green -6 for +135. Texas Tech versus Ole Miss. We talked about this game here. Tech is +4. I'm going to tease this one up a little bit. I'm going to take Texas Tech +7.5 for -175. Oklahoma versus Florida State. Line is 7.5, -7.5 Florida State. I'm going to tease it down a little bit. Florida State -6 for -143. I am taking the team total over by Air Force, over 21.5. They're playing Baylor. Over 21.5. I'm getting -104 on those odds. I am teasing Toledo from 5 all the way up to 6.5 for +112. Toledo -6.5. I am teasing Kentucky. I mean, we already said Kentucky +3.5 is a lock. This one here, I took Kentucky +4.5. They may not even score 4 points total in the game. Okay, Kentucky +4.5 is for at -165 is an absolute lock. I am teasing Fresno State, who's at -3 right now. I'm teasing them up to Fresno State -6.5. They roll Washington State +140. I'm getting there. Duke right now is -2.5 versus UCF. I'm teasing Duke up to -6 for +143. Duke -6. Washington, they were 6.5. It's come down to 4.5. I'm going to tease this up a little bit. I'm going to tease up to +7.5. Washington +7.5 for -162. I just said not to do this, but I'm doing it anyway. I don't think Caleb Williams plays. The starting center for USC got injured in that Utah game. Jordan Addison, I think there's no way he plays. I think USC, Lincoln Riley, he doesn't give a fuck about the Cotton Bowl. I think a lot of guys, this much like Alabama, I think this USC team just opts out. Willie Fritz is staying on there at Tulane. That's a huge boon for them. Those guys want to play in that game. Willie Fritz, by the way, almost beat Lincoln Riley 2 years ago. When Lincoln Riley was at Oklahoma, Tulane almost upset Oklahoma.
Tulane can ball, man.
Right now, you can moneyline Tulane for plus 100. I'm going to take it because I even if Caleb Williams plays, I think Tulane still might beat them. I don't think Caleb Williams, he had a severe hamstring injury. I don't think Lincoln Riley lets that injury linger. And then we just talked about Penn State money line. That money line right now is plus 108. That line will move. And then I am taking the total points over in Kansas versus Arkansas. I teased it down to 65. So 65 flat, I am taking the over for $37. If you play those 12 games, that gets us to $100,000.
Oh, yeah, baby.
$567.41.
It wins. It's winning. I believe it wins.
I know $37 is
It's a lot for a parlay.
That's a lot for a parlay. Having said that, in bowl season, this is when you do something stupid like this on a parlay. A lot of those games I are very confident about. Those are like my 12 most confident plays. And even so, most of them I teased, to help us out. Listen, you got to do it. You just have to fucking do it.
Even if you throw 20 on it, it's going to pay out like 60 grand anyway. So,
yeah.
I mean, it's definitely worth doing.
It is the Poontang parlay for this version of bowl season.
You're going to get 40 grand.
I may have one or two more parlays in a week or two. I don't know. We're going to have to see how the situation plays itself out. Having said that, with the information I have today for this current situation, 100K, that's what we need. That's what we need to pump back into the stock market and become millionaires. That's the Poontang parlay.
Yep. I might tail it and do it.
You should.
I think I am.
If you're listening right now to us, you need to fucking play this. Sal Baps, any last words for what is a crazy-ass bowl season to come?
No, I'm excited about it. I can't wait for these to start and get rolling, man. There's a couple of these games I really like to watch, like the Holiday Bowl, the Sun Bowl, the Rose Bowl, and countless Cheez-It Bowl. Fucking, this is fun. This is a fun time of year. It's the holidays. You're around friends and family, betting college football games on weekday nights. It's fucking cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even the shit games that we're not excited about, like, we're excited about
They'll
them.
end up being fucking crazy.
Yeah. Like, it's still going to be fucking cool. Like, bowl season is outside of, in my opinion, week one. Well, number one, it's the best time to actually bet these parlays, as I've said all year round. Week one and bowl season. But I think bowl season is the best time of year outside of week one.
It's the best. It's the best.
It's the holidays. It's eggnog. Plop your feet up on that chair and watch San Diego State beat Middle Tennessee by 5 touchdowns in the Hawaii Bowl.
Yeah, it's fucking fun, man. It's fun football, dude. I mean, there's nothing better other than week one when it's armed missiles going out after the long off season. But this is right up there with anything out there, man.
And by the way, one of these games, like last year, it was Purdue versus Tennessee. One of these games is going to completely shock the living shit out of you.
We were there together when that happened. At the casino.
Yeah, there's going to be a game where a team is severely undermanned,
and they're going to win.
And they're going to win.
And we got to hope that that's BYU.
We got to hope that's BYU because we are fucked on BYU. The Mormons are doing us dirty. But you know what? Maybe BYU just runs the ball the entire game and they lose by a field goal. I don't know.
I have 5.5.
I have a bunch of BYU money lines though too. So I'm. That's why it's not on today's Poontang parlay. Let's put it that way. All right, Sal Baps. I think that's it. We're gonna come back, preview those playoff games. There's gonna be way more opt-outs. We're gonna have another Poontang parlay, probably a couple more.
Yeah,
strong plays.
We can do some point totals, props. There's gonna be prop betting.
Yeah, props will come into more full effect then.
Oh yeah.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks for riding with us all season. And hopefully, guys, this is it. This is where we get the big money. This is where we get the redemption from the 47,000 Utah play in week one. So let's go out there with our, let's go out there with our heads held high, and let's be pirates like Mike Leach would want us to be. So say your prayers, take your vitamins, grow your own food, make that bread, and butter them hoes.